G'day guys, Nate here, coming at you on a Tuesday night with an updated Collingwood uncontracted players stay or go edition. This is the August edition of this series. This might be the last one. I am going to make a prediction for the final list calls, but if we go deep into September, how deep we go, nobody knows. But if we survive wildcard round, there may be a September edition, but I'll do it as quick as possible because once we get eliminated from finals or how far we go, the list calls will be made a few days after our season ends. So that's all I watch this space. But just speaking on the August edition, we've got 16 out of contract players, and I am going to cheat on this because I will bring up one contracted player that will possibly or maybe be delisted. I'll bring him up with the final list calls. But in this video, I'm going to discuss every Collingwood out of contract player, 16 Collingwood players out of contract, who stays, who goes, who retires, possible trade bait. Now, I am going to put myself off camera for this and just go over the previous editions. So, just going back to the May 2026 edition of Collingwood Stay or Go players, this was where Billy Frampton was out of contract. So, we had 14, I believe. 14 out of contract players at the time before the mid-season draft. I had Jack Crisp, Billy Frampton, and Josh Saxena staying. Billy Frampton extending earlier this year, so thankfully we got that done. I had Pendlebury, side bottom, Jeremy Howe all retiring. And in May, I had Tim Membury, Lockie Sullivan, and Jacob Bryan to be delisted or kicked out pretty much. And 50-50s were Ed Allen, Will Parker, Noah Howell, Smith, and Joel Cochran. Now, in July, we had the mid-season draft, a few updates, Billy Frampton staying on, and we brought in Harrison Coe, Liam Puncher, and Mitch Badatsky. And a few updates and a few changes there. I still had Pendlebury and side bottom retiring. Lockie Sullivan, Jacob Bryan, the only delistings I had, and quite a few 50-50s. So playing that milquetoast fence sitting role here. Jeremy Howe, Tim Membury, Ed Allen, Parker, Howe, Smith, Cochran, Coe, Puncher, Badatsky, all 50-50s. Ed Allen was more 50-50 because of, I guess, contract status and just, the go home factor, trade bait option there, but he's still 50-50 at the time. And Jack Crisp and Just Saxena to stay. Jack Crisp staying because he hit that performance trigger. And yeah, there are a few updates from May to July. And here's my updated updates, whatever you want to call it, for the August Stay or Go edition. And less 50-50s this time around. And obviously, with the season coming to an end pretty soon, there will still be a few players being told to wait after the trade period to be told if they're going to be playing on for one more year or extended, or if they're going to be delisted late. But that's to watch this space. But just with my August 2026 Stay or Go edition for Collingwood out of contract players, I still have Pendlebury and still side bottom retiring. Still the conductor, the general, but I don't want to keep him on for one more year if he's going to be rested for every interstate game. Maybe to get to 450 and then retire, i.e. Kane Corns, Port Adelaide getting to 300 games. That would be the only reason why I'd keep Pendlebury on for one more year, get the 450, and then out the door. For still side bottom, I don't think he'll get the 400. Most likely retires, averaging 16 and a half disposals a game, just over 2 inside 50s a game, 2 rebound 50s, and 3 score involvements. I still think we are moving the side bottom magnet to accommodate him. He doesn't want to play VFL. Perfectly fine to think that, but the honest discussion is still side bottom really in our best 23, 2026 and beyond, or next year and beyond. That's not the case for me. I think high time to have that discussion for Craig McRae at side bottom. As good as he is, the veteran, our second most experienced Collingwood player in history. Yeah, it's time for side bottom to go, and I think it'd be fitting, sentimental for Pendlebury and side bottom to retire together. Now, a few updates for certain players to stay, and for Jeremy Howe, I had him as out or retiring, then 50-50, and now I've got him staying. And same with Tim Membury, Jeremy Howe, 17 disposals a game, 6.5 marks, 6 intercepts a game, and just under 3 score involvements a game. For Tim Membury, in May, he played 7 AFL games for 9 goals, and he played 1 VFL game and went scoreless or goalless. And I thought, yeah, it's high time for him to go. But since May, he's played 10 AFL games and 21 goals. So because of that, 30 goals this year, could get to 35 or even 40 goals, depending on how far we go. That's worthy of one more year. 5.5 score involvements, 5.5 marks a game. Still, he's not a tall key forward, but he's still a lead out key forward and has a presence around the ground. So yeah, Membry can stay on one more year, which will affect other players as I bring them up later. Jack Crisp, because he's hit that performance trigger, one more year, but his stats have gone down in recent months, and maybe it's time to rest Jack Crisp. End that streak. Yeah, stay on one more year, get to 300 AFL games either this year or next year, and get to 300 Collingwood games next year. He's averaging 21.1 disposals a game, which is still solid. He's not bottom six, he's not top six, but 21 disposals a game, whether he's playing that outside wing role or on the halfback flank. I think Crisp will be moved to the halfback flank next year. That's my early call, but watch this space, whatever, fuck you. 5 marks a game, 4 tackles a game, 3.3 inside 50s, 5 score involvements, 4 intercepts a game. So he's still there. He's playing a role. He's 32 years old. He's Mr. Consistent, durable, and I think he's worthy of one more year at the very least. Maybe 2 more years, but we'll find out. He's hit that performance trigger. He maybe has extended. We don't know about it. Ed Allen, I'm not going to bring up his stats, but 16 AFL games this year. He's in the best 23 now. Keep him. And I'll bring up a few players that I think will be delisted. Lockie Sullivan, hold up. We've got quite a few injuries right now as of this recording. There will be an updated injury list tonight. Follow me on Instagram for the updated injury list. But I don't think Lockie Sullivan gets dropped from West Coast. Play another game against Hawthorn, maybe Brisbane, but I think 29 years old in September, we need to bring in a lot more pace in the midfield. And Lockie Sullivan plays that role. He's a good handballer. I noticed that against West Coast. Yeah, solid in the VFL, plays a role in the AFL. Keep him on for this year, but then next year he'll be delisted. I'll bunch these players together. Mid-sized defenders. Will Parker not getting AFL games since the Bulldogs loss. Yeah, if he's not getting AFL games, it's time to go. Jacob Ryan turns 22 in September. Maybe gets a lifeline elsewhere, but stuck on one AFL game. He wasn't called up for the West Coast game, and if that's the case, there's no real point. If you're not playing senior footy, there's no point extending him. So I reckon he'll be delisted. And a few players I've got 50-50 or staying on. Noah Howes, I've got him from 50-50 to staying on. Made his AFL debut. Yes, he needs time to develop as a proper key defender. 20 years old. He's not a lockdown defender. He may be exposed against Hawthorn and Brisbane, but I'll talk about that in the preview. But keep him on as a key defender. We need that key defending depth. Billy Frampton, Liam Puncher. I'll talk about Puncher a little bit later. Noah Howes, Reef McInnes returning from injury, Darcy Moore returning from injury, maybe a Joel Cochran. Joel Cochran, I've got him as 50-50. I'll talk about that a little bit later. Smith, also 50-50. I'll talk about that a little bit later. Saxena, I've still got him staying. Category B rookie. Bobby Hill being delisted. Surely that gives Saxena a senior list spot. 16 VFL games, 19 goals. He was very quiet against Essendon. I think the season's taken its toll on him. Just under 12 disposals a game, 1 tackle and 2.5 inside 50s. Craig McRae has said he's pushing him, and you're not going to list him off one season. So Saxena surely stays on, senior list spot promoted. And then the mid-season recruits, Harrison Coe, 50-50, same with Smith. Basically, I think one ruckman stays and one ruckman goes. Liam Puncher, 6 AFL games, no stats for me. He stays on, surely. I'd extend him yesterday, i.e. Ed Allen last month. So Ed Allen, and I think Liam Puncher would be the second player I'd have extending on or staying on. And Mitch Badadsky, I've got as 50-50. Now, because of this, to summarise the August edition, I've got Pendlebury and side bottom retiring, Sullivan, Jacob Ryan, Will Parker being delisted, Alero Smith, Joel Cochran, Harrison Coe, Badadsky to be 50-50, basically being told to wait during the trade period. And Jeremy Howe, Tim Membry, Jack Crisp, Ed Allen, Noah Howe, Saxena, and Puncher can stay on. But just to bring up my final list calls, and this is going to be more bold calls. So the listings, Bobby Hill, that's a given. That's already happened. Jacob Ryan, Will Parker, Lockie Sullivan, and Scott Pendlebury and side bottom retiring. So that's 6 players off our list for 2027. Now, factoring in the trade period, I think Cochran, Smith, Coe, and Badadsky will be told to wait. Cochran, I think he stays on if TJ is being delisted and we pay him out. There is the possibility we delist TJ and DeMartia and then pick them up on the rookie list. I can't believe they're stuck, or TJ is on one AFL game, hasn't played an AFL game since 2024. DeMartia, yet to debut. It might be the safe option to delist him and pick him up on the rookie list, but for me, might be time to make that bold call for TJ. I think DeMartia, give him one more year. But for TJ, if he's to be delisted, yeah, it opens up a spot in the back line. And for Joel Cochran, I think there's something there compared to TJ. So, If I were to keep one, I'd keep Cochrane over TJ, but I wouldn't keep TJ on for one more year, but to list Cochrane plus Ryan and Parker. Otherwise, we are going to use the draft for a key defender or a defender, i.e. Clancy Snell. Now, I do think we will delist one of Smith or Co. I know we're pretty generous with our mid-season recruits. We give them an 18-month contract or it's a 6-month contract, and then we keep them on for one more year. Give them a full preseason, but Harrison Co., 27 years old, or 26 years old, sorry, turns 27 next year. And Smith, we've had him on for 2.5 years. I think one stays on, and Zach McCarthy will be the ruck forward next year. Not playing AFL, he needs time to develop, a few years there, but I wouldn't be surprised if we go through the trade period or through the draft for a ruck forward type player. So that would be my reasoning for delisting one of Harrison Coe or Aliro Smith. And for Mitch Badatsky, I'd like to keep him. I think Badatsky could be traded, i.e. Finbar Malley to Adelaide last year, or a Rechko to Richmond for a late pick. We're not going to get anything for Badatsky besides a late pick, but I wouldn't delist him. He's the second highest leading goal scorer in the VFL this year, 15 VFL games, 46 goals, 2 AFL games this year for 1 goal. That was for King's birthday. But there's someone there. He's in the prime of his life and career, so I'd like to keep Badatsky, but if we keep Membry and we go for a Calsher Dear type key forward, then maybe Badatsky's squeezed out, and that's fair enough. He may look elsewhere. Badatsky seems like someone that Geelong would pick up and turn into an absolute A-grader, but hopefully it's not the case. Fuck you, Geelong. But for Badatsky, I want to see him on an AFL list next year, preferably Collingwood, but if it's elsewhere, get the best deal for him for a late pick, but also bring in a Calsher Dear type key forward. So again, 2 retirees in Pendlebury and Sidebottom, 4 delistings, and of the 50-50s, I think there will be a delisting or 2 there. Last year, we had a few players told to wait after the trade period. We kept them on for 1 more year, i.e. Sullivan, Noah Howes, and a few others. But this year, I think there'll be a few delistings later on, which will be a bit unfortunate for these players, their job security. But there is the supplementary selection period. There's the off-season, the national draft, the rookie draft, the preseason draft, the SSP, mid-season pickups, whatever. We may keep a list spot open for that. But you got to factor in the trade period, free agency, Lockie Neal, Zach Butters recently, Jake Rogers, Calsher Dear, Jeremy Sharp from Fremantle. That was a name floated earlier this year. But I will make a video next week talking about our off-season targets, the trade period, expectations, what it looks like, and how it's going to shape our list for the next 3 to 5 years. But that's for next week. I won't make a reactionary video for Zach Butters yet. I made a post on Instagram last night about it, but I'll make a video properly about the off-season and trade targets and get the views and the money in for that. Starting next week, I am overdue to make an off-season video or a trade speculation video, but there is still a season to play out. There will be a round 23 preview uploaded Wednesday night. Team selections final word we uploaded either Thursday night or Friday morning or Friday night, whatever. That's to watch this space. No VFL report. It is Super Saturday. 4 Collingwood teams playing VFLW, VFL, AFLW, then the AFL. Hopefully 2 or more wins there, but I'll talk about it in the preview. Yeah, that's all for this video. Leave your comments down below. Your thoughts on Collingwood's list changes coming up. Who stays, who goes, who's traded, who's told to wait, who do you bring in, who do you take out? Everything few and far between for Collingwood's list changes for 2026. Leave your comments down below. Share it around. Give the video a like. Subscribe if you're not already. Yeah, that's all for this video. I'll leave you guys all to it. I hope you guys are having a good week so far. Please be well. Please be safe. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Do your census. Up the pies.